Welcome back. This is Mike from Chicago Car Club. Today we're going to be taking a look at our final year 1974 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia. This is a 55,000 mile car. It's been sitting in a collection for some time. It does run and drive, but it does need brake service. The master cylinder needs to be replaced for sure. Beyond that, we don't know. Everything's there. It does have front disc brakes. And we also know that it has a small fuel leak between the fuel cell and the engine. Got it warming up here. It is cold out, so forgive the smoke. It does run beautifully. Get you up close and personal and show you everything. We don't see much in the way of Bondo and body filler on the car. But we want to point out that we do have a piece of vinyl that's over a hole in the lower fender behind the wheel opening. Same thing on the driver's side of the car, so we want to note that. Those vinyl pieces do cover that up. We're just going to point out the little imperfections you might expect. I believe this car has been painted at some point. I can't be certain of that, but it would appear it's in its original color, which is amber, but I would guess that it had been painted at some point. Again, matching side piece, but there is a hole in there, which we'll get a closer picture of to show you. A couple little imperfections. Pretty consistent front to back and inside and out. It's not a perfect car by any means, but as far as a solid frame and a complete example of a 74, this car is pretty fantastic. We are not asking a ton of money for it either. It's probably one of the more competitively priced coupes that you'll find. It's got a lot of room for growth, which we think is exciting for somebody purchasing it. And little tune-ups and things like that you could do, but very largely original under the rear cover here with the engine. Throughout, so a little cracked. We'll walk you around and make you comfortable so you know exactly what we're looking at here. Get inside the door panel there. Obviously, it's crank up windows. Some oil change stickers. We believe the mileage to be original at 55,000. You can see inside the jams is quite nice. Pedals. Again, we know the master cylinder is not building pressure right now. And as you can see through the headliner, it's kind of sagging a little bit, and on the passenger side it's pulled down ever so slightly, but believed to be the original interior. So, take you around to the passenger side. The glass in the car is nice. Again, inside the jam here. Striker and the sill plate. You do notice that top piece of the door panel has a split in it, but really a pretty fantastic example. We've got some original manuals here, which we'll show you, and then we'll take you under the hood or the bonnet. Looks to be the original cardboard still in there, which is pretty impressive. And as we look through the latches and things like that, an original spare still hooked up to the bottle. And here we have a fuel tank. It looks like somebody had the fuel tank out at one point and maybe had it repaired, probably from just sitting, but we do notice that the fuel tank does not leak, but there is a fuel leak somewhere between the fuel cell and the engine. You see it dripping into the car ever so slightly. You can hear the engine running. It runs really well. It looks to be like the original parts. A lot of the original stickers, but you can see the original part, which is really cool. Also indicative of the mileage. We know the person we got it from was somebody that really took care of their stuff for a long time. So right now the headlights and taillights aren't working, or the signals. I'm sure it just needs some contacts cleaned. Like I said, the car sat in a collection for some time. Take it for a ride. Please caution that we are driving this without brakes. The e-brake does function, but do not try this at home. It's not safe. The clocking of the steering wheel, it could use an alignment, or the steering wheel to be pulled off and set back in a straight position, but more than likely an alignment will adjust that. Right now, going straight, the wheel's upside down. Nothing to note about braking because, well, it doesn't have brakes right now. But as you can see, the speedometer works, and the car gets up. It would definitely benefit from some sort of a carb rebuild, but it runs pretty good, and the more we've had it running, the better it seems to run. So it doesn't smoke, it doesn't have any obnoxious noises or anything like that. It's really, it's pretty well situated. After that, we're going to take you underneath the car and just show you around the unibody. As you can see, the dash has got a little split in it. Windshield wipers are a little corroded up there. But really, this is kind of your perfect stick it in the garage and play with it and start with a really solid car. So get you along the lower edges here. Again, we want to point out as we get forward between the door and the front wheel opening, you can see there's just a black piece of vinyl, but you can see there's some rust under there. It's actually a hole. Not structural, but it's there. It's on both sides. Super common on these, but you know, can either be left alone for now or be addressed at some point. A lot of the trim and hardware is in great condition. The tires are older. They show fine, but you know, obviously to be roadworthy, we would recommend replacing those at some point. We always encourage you to reach out to us by call or text at 312-420-3696. And you can visit us online at chicagocarclub.com. Looking at the underside here, not a lot to point out other than it's obviously been sitting. It's a little scaly, but again, it's all there. It is largely original. Drums on the rear, discs on the front. And when we drive it, it does get through the gears nicely. It gets into every gear. It feels like it shifts nicely. It downshifts well. You know, the unibody is solid. A couple little spots, but nothing at all major structurally. But again, we've encouraged you to give us a call. We look forward to speaking with you, and we hope you enjoyed taking a look at this 1974 Karmann Ghia Coupe.